Earlier, we had the APC National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Felix Moka, speak to us on the signing of the peace accord. Now I would like to speak with Yunusa Tanko. He's the spokesperson for the Third Force Coalition for the Labour Party. He joins us via telephone. Thank you very much, Mr. Tanko, for speaking with us. Let's start with the reason why you believe that the accord is necessary and the presence of your Labour Party candidate.
Well, let me take you back to some memory lane. I was the IPAC chairman that was part of the people that conceptualized the idea of the Peace Committee. The Peace Committee initiative was during the era of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan under the office of the distinguished Ben Obi. The idea behind it is that when we noticed that there was so much fracas in the system and there was a statement alluded to the United States, somebody that's saying that probably Nigeria is going to break into two. So the idea was just to see what can manage the situation where there will be a peaceful election. And I can tell you during that period, it worked perfectly well because that was the result that ended up when you saw President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan handing over to Muhammadu Buhari. Seamlessly, there was very minimal uprising. And so therefore, that is what is resonating at the moment now. But it has already been observed that certain persons are involved into a campaign of calumny, mudsliding, backbiting. In fact, planted news. I can tell you today, for example, we have had issues where a couple of persons who are pretending to be members of Ohanese directing or kind of releasing a letter that has no fabric whatsoever and is trying to cause a...
Just to cut in and say that this is not peculiar to a single party. Most parties, including yours, have been accused of being part of this smearing that you talk about. So let's look at commitment. The INEC boss did say that beyond saying that they want to commit to a peace accord, beyond signing it, how do you see a commitment by actions, by your party, let's not talk about others now, to ensuring a peaceful campaigning period?
The truth is that people can raise all kinds of accusations, but we have exemplified different. Our presidential candidate has shown this practically, and he has led it in words. I give an example. He has made it very clear that it's an issue-based campaign that he runs. And that is the reason why, even when you saw him at the MBA conference, he went down to say hello to his former principal, showing that particular leadership. That, look, I respect my co-contestants, so nobody should accuse them or attack them in any way. In fact, he went further to say that any time there are accusations meant on him, nobody should make any reference or respond to it. Rather, they should allow him to respond to this particular issue. This is a clear-cut practical position. So in order to really exemplify this particular action, that was why in the obedient movement led by Comrade Peter Obi, we make sure that we only signify our intention and clear cut. So anything you see that is not coming from our campaign council or written by any one of us appended signature, it do not ascribe it to us. It can never be. So individuals can be far with their own thinking. And I want to say further, probably, although the Peace Committee action is only based on moral situation, it is not based on probably forceful situation, probably you are attacked punitive measures to it. But then what we need to do is challenge those particular persons to speak to their like the president, for example, or talk to me that I should be speaking.
In the interest of time, some would argue with you, though, that adding punitive measures to a peace accord will defeat the purpose entirely. But in the interest of time, I'd like you to speak quickly on how your party plans to push ahead with parties like APC and PDP that are old hands in the game and come out on the winning side. What's your strategy?
In fact, what we are running is an unconventional way of politics. We are doing something different. Who owns our processes are the people that owns it, and that's what makes it more organic and more interesting. We are not doing a copy and paste campaign. We are not doing the old OA order. So the people who are running this particular election are the people that you see on the street. They are the one buying the billboard. They are the one paying for T-shirts. They are the one contributing. They are the one buying drinks. So you see, with that kind of a movement, it is difficult to change. It is generated internally. And so the people are committed, taking back the country. In fact, for the first time in my life, and taking all of the experience I have seen now that Nigerian people are ready to take back their country. And then I say kudos to Nigerians, because now they are going back to the real standard of electioneering in the whole world. So strategically for us, we are allowing the people to drive this process. And then
we'll wrap up this interview. Let's quickly ask you your thinking. I spoke with Mr. Felix Moka, the APC National Publicity Secretary, about the absence of the presidential candidate at the peace accord signing. What is your perception as a party and as a spokesperson about the absence of the candidate of the APC?
Well, for us, we have always made it very clear that we don't really like to join issues with anybody, so that we will not be seen as if we are attacking the candidate. But quite honestly, everybody that belongs or believes in the peace accord should be present physically at such very important occasion. But of course, that is the reason why you have a deputy. I can tell you for a fact, our presidential candidate has to leave your state very early this morning and flew in. Even though he sent in an advance team, he sent his vice presidential candidate to be there. The moment he arrived, the vice president abdicated his seat and go behind, and then the principal took over his seat. So we were not even late, but we took it so serious because we are interested in peace for the Nigerian people, and that is why our campaign is a Nigerian project owned by the Nigerian people.
I think that's a good place to leave it. Thank you very much, Yunusa Tanko. You're the spokesperson, Third Force Coalition for the Labour Party. Thanks for joining us again on the news.
God bless Nigeria.